All right. And if people here haven't already, please put your note, put your status in the contributors meeting forum post. I'll link it in this chat. Oh, and we're live. Hey, everybody. Okay, welcome to another DoneJS contributors meeting for Friday, March 18th at 11 o'clock, depending on what time you are in the world, which apparently only I'm at that time. We had some daylight savings mishaps that made us get the time wrong, but I'm glad we can mostly all be here. So I'll give my status. I've been doing a lot on Bitballs to finish that application and guide. The app should be done this weekend, and then finishing the guide next week. I think the people who were working on the guide, which I don't know exactly where they are. Hold on, did I know about that? Oh, let me make sure they're coming. I think what we might do is pause because BitHub is going to be the next project that we work on and kind of open source. But I think that I'm going to delay that for a week so we can get some odds and ends done next week. So what I might do is David and Matthew give you one of Chris or Jan, and then you can use them as having them do things that need to get done that you haven't had the time to do. Little odds and ends for next week. Oh yeah, he's added today. I forgot about that. He should be coming. We have to formally introduce him to open source. And then there's some DoneJS bugs that I worked on. David, we might want to get a release out soon. I'm going to work on that a little bit today, and more of Bitballs, and then for next week, I need to follow up on some evangelism stuff. I'm actually tomorrow. I'm doing the second DoneJS Chicago training. And then, yeah, getting Bitballs published, and then hopefully starting on BitHub after that. So that's my status. Let's do Sheriff since he's here and has working internet.
Okay, thank you. I put my status in the forums. So last week I write more tests for can define. Most of that was for stash. I fix an easy issue on CanJS was the 1541, but the Travis build doesn't pass, and Justin point me to the failing test, but I don't know why it should be failed, because I didn't touch the system EGS part. So the coupling thing, I don't know why. Do you know? Do you see what I'm talking about, Justin? The Travis.
Yeah, I looked at it a little bit. I mean, I just looked at it on my phone yesterday. I don't know why it was happening.
Okay, I'm still digging. I saw Steel SAS 2. I hope start looking at Steel SAS and fix some bugs and upgrade Steel and Steel tools on Steel SAS and make things work.
The bug is probably, actually looking at it, the bug is probably in your test. I think normally, I would look at other tests. I think a lot of times we check, because your test is actually trying to use can dev warn. And I think when we test the production builds, can dev warn is pulled out. So you have to like write your test so that it's like only if can dev warn exists, run this test.
I do it like this.
Oh, you do like this? I guess I was just looking at your first commit, not your whole.
The last, well, yes, the first commit was not between the Steel remove.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Can you run it locally? That's what I would try. Make sure you can run it locally. Something with the
Okay.
build.
Okay. So I was looking to steal SAS2, and I corrected a small spelling on SteelJS export documentation, and I was paired with Julian to make a little workflow with the PHP framework that I use, which is E framework, and we did a small app to see the workflow with SteelJS and other environments. This is for the last week. For the next week, I will finish the can define testing, especially with the can component parts. And I want to discuss a little bit this issue. I proposed the feature uh, in DoneJS generates, which is prompt users for common JS modules or ES6 modules. Uh, if you want, we discuss a little bit this feature. And I'm starting an application with DoneJS and E framework to make more examples in other environment like PHP. And I will continue to talk with Julian about SteelJS and E framework and more for multi-build, because with PHP we have multiple pages, and we hope find a way to make loading assets more performant and more fast with PHP. This is my whole statue. Okay, hello.
Awesome. Yeah, great. Yeah, the having like a configuration that asks what format, I think is a fine idea. The problem would be how to maintain that with all the different generators that might get added. Um, right? People are like, oh, and then also, like,
It might be hard.
yeah. Also, the other thing is what I would, yeah. The other problem is that if you're using CommonJS or AMD, the like right now our generators are producing ES6 syntax.
Mm.
We would have to not be producing ES6 syntax and just a normal JavaScript syntax if we were to support that. I really like it as an idea. I don't know. It would be it'd be tricky.
Yes, it's.
Maintainable.
I talked with Matthew about this, and I said to him, maybe it will be hard to maintain this for other generates. I'm aware of this complication, and still thinking about the way how to make it work.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's having CommonJS and having it work with just CommonJS or ES6 modules. That's actually not so bad for the most part because, well, at least it's not like wrapped in a whole function like AMD would be. So it might be possible to just have a, I don't know, maybe Yaumin. Are there plugins to Yaumin generators? So you could make a small module that you say, here's the module name, and here's the variable, and it either just does import from or var whatever equals require the module name. And we could use that throughout our code, and then we'd have to move a lot to those standard like ES5 syntax, which I don't know. We could keep it, actually, we would get really crazy. We could really blow people's minds. Here's a crazy idea. Run the generators, but then transpile everything to CommonJS, and then write that out.
Yeah, but the code's kind of ugly when you do that. Like the transpile ESX code is not, even Babel is not, it's not what you would actually write.
Really? Hmm.
Yeah.
Trying to be smart.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's a hard one, for sure.
I still
In the
thinking
issue,
about.
what I would say is in the issue, it could help just get it turning. Is just write out some of the pros and cons of these ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, Sheriff.
And welcome.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Go for it.
Adam and I have been working on the CanJS 3.0 this week. I made a 3.0 pre-1 that you can install through npm. I think it has like EJS and mustache taken out, and slash is the default now, and then we're going to iterate from there. So currently I am working on I created a bunch of like individual plugins. So taking out all those CanJS plugins that are not part of the core are going to be in their own modules. And Adam is going to talk about what he's working on. I'm 60% done with extracting the plugins. It's actually pretty easy and works pretty well, but it still takes a long time creating the repository, installing all the dependencies, putting it up on Travis, making sure that it passes. But I think we should have the first versions of all of those up pretty quick here. So I think that was it. Oh, and we fixed something in the Firebase docs earlier this week. Because the Travis continuous deployment in Firebase kind of probably didn't work ever. So that should be good now.
Yeah. I read your the guide for generators. We should talk about that later.
Yeah.
Today.
I saw the notes.
Cool.
All right, and to follow up with me then, and like he said, also included in that pre-release is CommonJS over Steel. Like we replaced all the Steel with CommonJS. And I've got a branch up right now that is just removing all Bower and the extra libraries like UE and MooTools and whatnot. But I had a lot of trouble yesterday because it's failing on Travis, but not locally and not on my VM. But when I did the Travis thing and pulled down their like Docker thing and stuff, it does fail on that. So I don't know what's going on. Something Travis specific is failing. And yeah, and I'm still working on the standalone version, which I'm not so sure will be done by the end of today, but it will be hopefully close or something. The file with the util file with the sort of methods that we just have to replace might be done, but I'm not sure about events and stuff like that. So yeah.
What do you mean?
Update. Sorry?
What do you mean events?
Like how we'll have to deal with the events, like CAN events stuff. I don't know if we will.
CAN events is standalone already.
Okay, then it should be all right then.
And,
well, we'll see how it goes.
And there is a trigger and stuff so you can trigger DOM events. Like all of the core like eventing on something like a CAN map is not done at all with jQuery's event system. There is a there is like CAN bind, which will go through jQuery's event system if it's on an element, or our event system if it's on an object. But those that can bind and can trigger and stuff like that work on events, there's versions of those made for like Dojo and especially for can trigger,
right, yeah.
the most complex one.
I have that already.
Yeah. So it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be
too bad.
Writing any new code, I would think, for those things.
Cool. Then it might be good today.
So did you get out the event delegation then?
Cut out the event delegation?
No, did you make an event delegation to handle like CAN control and stuff like that? Make that work?
No.
Okay, so that's the big one. That's the one that's going to take a while.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome.
Sorry, I missed.
Oh, no worries, Julian. Glad you're here. There was one more comment I had for David, though, which was, are you going when you're publishing these to npm, is there going to be like a standard tag that you you're going to make sure it's like tagged with CanJS or something like that?
You're talking to me?
No, David. Sorry.
About publish what?
Well, you said you're publishing all the extension, all the.
Yeah. So I haven't published them yet. They are all. So basically, once I'm done with all of them, I'm going to make sure that they all look right, and then publish them all at once. We should probably add. So I added a CanJS keyword. We probably want to add a CanJS plugin keyword as well. So I'm going to write a script that does that for all of those, because there are actually a couple of them now. But yeah, we probably should. I don't know if you need any other keywords.
I would just say DoneJS and CanJS.
Yeah.
Like everything
Okay,
that
then I'll just add
DoneJS umbrella should probably be labeled DoneJS. Any extensions to anything pretty much that we work on. But then since it's also an extension to CanJS, it should be CanJS as well.
And should like the plugin generator do that automatically if somebody uses it to make a plugin as well?
I think it should for DoneJS for sure. Add the DoneJS as part of one of like the tags to npm. Whether it's CanJS or not, I don't know, because maybe it is presumably possible that people could write a non-CanJS plugin using the DoneJS generator. So I'm more iffy on that. Cool. All right, Julian, you want to go next then?
Yeah, sure. Should I talk about? Should I talk about my pull request, or should I talk about stuff about building app with Electron and Gulp and stuff? What do you?
We can talk about both in whatever order you prefer.
Okay.
Once you talk about your I mean, I'd like to know about you're working on a multi-page. You've been working on multi-page stuff.
So let me share my screen so we can jump into some problems. So I made some pull requests. So the main problem I have was I want to have a multi-main build with npm package behind. So that doesn't working. This doesn't working for several reasons. So the first thing I talked to Matthew about two weeks ago, we talked about renaming the bundle stuff. So when we make a bundle, we name that bundle, and that was probably not really causes problems. So I made this. Let me look into. So yeah, I rewrite the name.js in bundle steel tools, and I added this naming rules. So we can look into it, and we now see what when we pass a main module inside the function, we got the bundle path look like this. And the whole stuff, this is for main bundle, it's without npm. So if we put bundles inside there, we got this concatenation file of bar foo, and if there's some if statements there, if there is a long name, so we have cut the name out. And here's the new stuff about with npm. So if you put an npm main module inside the function, it's my project, and it's the add and the version, and at the least there is the path of the module. We got now we have now a deeper folder called my project. It's a package name of the npm module, so that we can. The main problem here is if we switch over to production mode, then Steel would not find the JavaScript file if the JavaScript file is not inside the package folder here. So this is the new stuff I made with DoneJS, and here's the stuff with more bundles. If you pass more bundles inside the function, here is the package name not provided in the path, so only in the main bundle we add this project folder one structure deeper, and in the if you pass more bundles inside, we don't have to make this because we are writing the bundle's path inside the bundle itself, so we don't care about where it's located. Hope this makes sense.
Cool. Thanks for doing this. Yeah, thanks for like laying out all the possibilities. I really like.
So you're welcome. So the last thing is file prevent file collisions. So we have, if we had foo and bar and have a different package or a different path folder, also with foo and bar at the end, there is a file. There was the same file produced, and now already we have this counter who is make a unique name of the file, so we don't have to overwrite the old file. So this is the stuff I made with DoneJS. It's working. With all tests are passed, and
but it doesn't work in your app, or does it?
because that's not a problem. The problem is this other one. I have Let's talk about first about this fix I made yesterday, and you can say it's okay or it's not okay. So the problem is we are in a structure folder look like this, and the package name, the package.json file is inside the web directory. And if we make a normal build with the package name, and the problem is that we use Steel in a parent directory. The problem is that this does not work because in the production mode, Steel Steel would rewrite the base URL to its location here. So it's missing the structure folder here. So it's it's missing the web and dist bundles folder here. So what to do is now, or what you can do to prevent this problem is to add a base URL or a base URL and config to the script tag. If we added this, we just the site loads correctly. This is also this behavior we can also see in if we make an Steel bundle true. Sorry, that's not the right one. Yeah, if you make the bundle Steel true, we see in the bundles path or in the bundles file at the first two lines we see a Steel object. This pass the base URL and the main and the config main to Steel. So this is similar to this problem here. And with my fix now, we can leave this. We can leave this script tags or these additional options in the script tag. We can remove that and can use only the main. The main is provided. So you have to provide the main. If you go back here, you have to provide the main always in the script tag. But we can now leave that
Well, did you look in the bundles path? Because I think what you're doing might, the purpose of bundles path overlaps with that. Like, you shouldn't have to set the base URL, I don't think.
Yeah, if I do this not, it's
Oh, no, you do, because the
overwritten.
bundles path is always relative to the base URL.
So this is the problem here. So we make this, or this is the old config look like. We set config main to package JSON, and we override the base URL relative to the steel location because parts.
I kind of find it confusing because it doesn't really matter where your stuff is on the file system. It really matters where it is on the web server. So could you like lay out, maybe right up in that issue, write up like what is the URL of the page you're visiting, and then where are the disk bundles located, and then where's your steel.js, steel.production.js located. Write up those three things. Just write up a URL that has all three of those, and it'll make it easier for me to understand the problem.
Sure, I can post it, and you can look over it and can say it's the fix on the right config. So this is the thing I did yesterday, and also I did yesterday is to pull out the main problem again and work and make some tests and debug steel where it's failing. And it seems there are still several issues because npm is not really good supported this way. So we have this. Maybe I can look it into my.
So you're adding tests for multi-main with package JSON, right?
Yeah, I check this out here. So we have this. So do you see my screen here, or is it big enough?
Yeah.
So this is the first test. So it's only pasted. The problem is also be some curious because if I paste a string inside the main, it works perfectly. This test passes. I don't know exactly why, but it passes. If I pass an array into the main, this will fail. It also fails if I put multiple mains inside there. It's also failed. And the problem is I found out yesterday that the mains are not correctly. They're not pushed or returned into the mains there. And with the bundle, the main problem is the split graph by module names is also a problem. So if the names are not normalized, so the split graph by module names is not working.
That's what we kind of didn't we find that together a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, but I debugged this and it seems there are several problems in different functions as well, many problems. So I hope I can fix this tonight. So hopefully I have an idea how I can fix this. Maybe it's not the perfect way, and you can say me, okay, you understand the problem. And
well, I'm kind of finishing up on some stuff that I've been working on, so maybe I can help you with this next week.
Yeah, sure. That would great.
Thanks for writing all those tests. That makes it much easier to.
So this is a main problem, and I want with Sheriff we want to make some PHP backend stuff and in the front end some DoneJS stuff. So and when we provide this multi-main possibility, but yeah, it's not working right now, so we have to fix this up. And if it's working, we can continuing doing this PHP stuff behind.
Okay. Do you have that? Did you push that to the Steel.js repo, or is it your fork?
Yeah, I pushed. Yeah, let me look
Well,
into.
the Steel Tools one's the one I'm thinking.
The Steel Tools I passed. Also, there is oh, sorry.
Yeah, those tests that you wrote, are those in the Steel fork?
They oh Jesus.
Hopefully.
Yes, it's multi-main. The new multi-main.
Oh, it's
build.
under your fork. Could you push that? You should have permissions to push to. That way, I can. I mean, I guess I can pull down your fork, anyways.
Did I have? Yeah, okay, I can create it. Oh, okay. If you have problems, let me know. Otherwise, you can fork my fork or do a merge.
Yeah.
So there are all there's the tests are inside there, and also yeah. So I have this one. So this is the. You can also test this npm leave this configs. You can check it out. It's on the test. So this because I found the bug, because I want to write. I have to steal bundles true and write dist folder appmain and main data, and it's not working. So because I forget the base URL in the config. You can test it with.
Julian, I think we'll have to take this. What you've done is amazing, but yeah, let's move on, and Matthew can reach out to you, and we can get this fixed and in Steel's core.
Sure.
Awesome. Great. Cool. Matthew,
the stuff about gulp. To explain.
Yeah. Let me do a quick summary of that then. So. On a high level, Julian wants the ability for Steel to more easily work with grunt workflows and gulp workflows and perhaps broccoli workflows and any other task manager, right? Things like how Steel will do a build, but maybe there's a bunch of other transformations that you want, including building to NWJS or Electron or Cordova. Currently, at least the original way we built it is because the build artifact that Steel produces is like it returns this Steel build results object where we can infer a lot of information. So with that we know a lot about the app and can make sure that the build happens in the right way. However, gulp and grunt and things like that aren't going to work easily. Those kind of workflows from some kind of object that Steel produces. So instead, we talked about shifting the focus to, the Steel. So it's really producing an artifact of CSS and JavaScript that, basically the artifact is files itself that could be much more used in a whole variety of post-Steel build workflows. And that's something that we're going to look into to see if it's possible.
So, like, to clarify, to export then like an array of vinyls kind of thing? Would that be the idea?
I don't know what vinyls are.
Oh, they're like a file object that like Gulp uses and a bunch of other plugins uses, but an object that represents files.
Yeah, we're just going to export the dist files, and then people can configure their own other separate scripts to read those and do whatever. If you wanted to do spriting with CSS images to take all the images and build them up into something bigger, there's probably a gulp task for that. Well, you could just point it at the CSS that we're producing and it should work.
So the main point Justin wants to say is, I think he wants to say that the new interface is the file system. So we put all our stuff, our build stuff, into a file system, and with gulp or grunt, we can take these files and produce an app like Electron or Cordova or other apps. So this is the interface is the file system. I think this is the best possibility to have, because Grunt or Gulp has perfect plugins for building apps with Electron, so we don't have to write our own repos for setting up those stuff. We can grab our files from a dist folder, put them into a Gulp extension like Gulp Electron, and they do the stuff for us.
Yeah, but to be clear, I don't think we're going to have DoneJS using Gulp or Grunt by default.
No, sure, but we have the main thing. The main thing is that the file system is the interface for other parts.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. Awesome. All right, Matthew.
All right. Well, makes me think I should readjust what I was going to work on a little bit. Well, next week at least. Thanks, Julian, for all the hard work you've been doing to make still better. Appreciate it. So let me share my screen. I've been working on this bug. I've mostly been working on this bug. It's in there now, but Chris ran across this issue in working on bitballs. Actually, I can simulate it. It has to do with zones. So I have a this is like the tournament details page, and in the inserted event, I'm just console logging inserted just so I can see that the insertion actually did happen. Then you can see it breaking when I reload the page now, and we won't see the inserted get console logged. And the reason why is in can view bindings. See if I can find that. Can view bindings uses mutation observers to write to a compute, to set a compute. So we can see this here. Refresh the page. You see my little watch here. Zone.current is undefined. That means we're not like running this code inside of a zone, and we need to be running inside of a zone in order for it to finish. It's actually kind of interesting what happens here. I'll just do this really quick. But inside of here, it clears a timeout. So this set timeout happens, and it gets cleared. So from zone's perspective, we don't actually see that this timeout was ever cleared because we're not inside of the zone. Long story short, the root cause here, or the difficult part, is that CanJS keeps a local reference to mutation observer, and by doing that, it means that like we don't have our CanZone doesn't like have its hooks into that. So what I did is I made a script that runs. You can make it run the config dependency, and by running as a config dependency, that means it runs before CanJS loads. And that just sets up our initial hooks for all the different asynchronous tasks, different types of asynchronous tasks that can run. So by doing that, I refresh the page now, hit the breakpoint, and you can see that zone.current is a zone. So this code's now running inside of a zone, and we get the inserted, so it actually does finish. This is what I've been working on for most of this week.
Awesome. You can land it in Bitball. In Bitball.
I sent a pull request yesterday.
Okay.
Next, I've been working on where I was going to work on place my order guide in 080, pre-testing that. Probably look at the multi-main situation that Julian's been struggling with.
Cool. Awesome. All right. Who's next? Anybody not go? I guess Jan is the only one. Unless Chasen wants to say something. I think he's just stopping in.
Yeah, I'm just observing.
Cannot hear you. Jan.
Of course. I don't know what much else I'd say outside of the working on football stuff, getting that ready for release, like you had mentioned.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. All right. Hey, anything else anybody wants to bring up? All right.
Nope.
Thanks, everybody. See you all next week.
Weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a great weekend.
See you.
All right. Bye.
See you all.
Ciao.
Bye.
See you. Ciao.